You've seen it. The little triangle in your mirror lights up just as you're about to change lanes. Sometimes it saves your bacon, but sometimes it flashes and nobody's there. Today, I'm breaking down lane change assist, how it works, how it's different from blind spot monitoring, when cars actually nudge the steering, and the common reasons these systems get confused. By the end, you'll know when to trust the light and when to trust your eyes. Lane Change Assist, LCA, is a proactive system that watches the lanes next to you with radar. Small radar units live behind the bumper corners, and they send quick pulses that bounce off nearby vehicles. Then your car's computer listens for those reflections, figures out how far away each object is and how fast it's closing. And then it chooses whether or not it's about to enter the space you're moving into, too. If it's risky, your mirror icon lights up. Maybe you get a chime or steering wheel vibration. The key point here is LCA is a warning system. It doesn't steer the car by itself. It's there to say, not yet. People use some terms interchangeably, but they're not the same really. Blind spot monitoring, or BSM, think of it like a security camera pointed right at your blind spot. It cares about what's in the zone right now, and if a car is sitting next to you or pacing you, the light is on. That's it. Lane Change Assist, however, LCA, is your lookout down the lane. It tracks vehicles approaching the blind spot and warns earlier, even before the car actually enters the zone, especially if it's going pretty fast. Then steering intervention, which comes with lane change intervention or lane keep assist, is where the car can nudge the wheel or apply a brake to keep you out of trouble. It blends radar for other cars with cameras for lane lines to predict your path and step in briefly if you move toward an occupied lane. So the rule of thumb is BSM, what's beside you, LCA, what's coming at you, and intervention, a gentle nudge when you drift into danger. Now, let's talk about the hardware. The radar modules are tiny, about the size of a deck of cards, and they're hidden behind the bumper because radar can pass through plastic just fine. They send out quick radar pulses that bounce off nearby cars and still work in weather that would blind a camera, like fog, mist, or road spray. The computer then filters out the stuff that doesn't matter, guardrails, signs, parked cars. It tracks the objects that are moving relative to you and predicts whether they're going to enter your path if you change lanes now. But the system can get confused and have false alarms. So why does that mirror light sometimes flash when nothing's there? Well, a few reasons. One is reflections. Wet pavement or shiny guardrails can bounce the signal back at a perfect angle and make the system think there's a vehicle. If it only happens in rain or a stretch with metal barriers, it's probably a reflection. Number two is big vehicles 2 lanes over. A semi's broad, flat sides can create ghost echoes, especially on sweeping curves. The system errs on caution. Third is weather clutter, so heavy rain, slush, or sticky snow can scatter the radar. Range drops and accuracy suffers. Still, it's better than a camera in that moment, but it's not perfect. Fourth is bumper repairs and coatings. New bumper skin, thick paint, metallic wraps, or heavy ceramic layers near the sensor can shift the aim or weaken the signal. Even a few millimeters of misalignment matters when you're measuring a car that's 80 to 120 feet behind you. The fifth, well, small or odd objects. Motorcycles have a small radar profile, so LCA often catches them, but the angle and lane position matter. Bicycles on high-speed roads are even harder for it to see. And then there's the missed alert cases, fast lane splitters, or vehicles hidden by a large truck right up until the last second. No system replaces a mirror sweep and a quick shoulder check. LCA is a second set of eyes, not a free pass. When your car nudges the wheel or tugs you back, that's a step beyond lane change assist. The computer blends 2 streams. Radar for other cars in adjacent lanes, cameras for lane lines and road edges. And if you signal a steer into a lane with a car closing quickly, the system can add a gentle counter steer or tap a single brake to rotate the car back into safety. It's short, it's subtle, and you can override it. So all of these systems have to stay calibrated and they have to be cared for. If your cars had body work, a bumper replacement, or a decent fender bender, get a radar calibration. Shops use targets and laser jigs to make sure the sensors are aimed exactly where the computer expects. That's not dealer fluff, it's what makes the math work. Day to day, keep the bumper corners clean. Avoid thick wax or ceramic layers right over the sensor zones. Be careful with metallic wraps near the corners. And if you start seeing constant false alerts after repair, ask specifically for a radar alignment check. There are a couple quick things that you can do to check on your system too. On a straight highway with light traffic, watch the mirror icon as cars approach and pass. It should light up a beat before the car hits your rear quarter and stay on until it clears your front door. If the timing is consistently off on one side, mention it to your service tech. So, how do these systems work in the real world? Well, there are a couple of scenarios. Scenario A, you're in the middle lane, a motorcycle rockets up the left lane. Your lane change assist light flickers just as your hand touches the signal. You double check, see the bike, and hold your lane. That's the perfect scenario. But in scenario B, it's a rainy morning. There's a concrete divider with a metal top rail. You see a quick flash with no car present. Because you understand reflections, you don't panic. You verify, then change lanes smoothly. So the takeaway is understanding why a system warns you makes you calmer and safer. Knowledge turns noise into context. How do you use these systems properly? What are the myths and what are the best practices? Well, myth one is if the light is off, the lane is clear. The reality is the sensor might be blocked, degraded by weather, or aimed wrong. The shoulder check is still king. Myth two is it's okay if the car steers for me. Well, the reality is steering assist is a short safety nudge, not a chauffeur. So hands on, eyes up. The best way to treat this is keep the sensors clean, check behavior after any body work. Learn your car's warning style because some flash early, some chime only, and some only work when you use your turn signal. So if you're shopping for a car and trying to determine what to look for, here are a few things to compare. You might prefer a system with a turn signal linked warning. They escalate when you intend to move. Check for rear cross traffic alert. It's got the same sensors, but it has a huge parking lot value. And ask how calibration is handled after a bumper repair and what it costs. So that little triangle is not magic. It's a smart radar doing math at highway speed to give you a heads up. Use it like a pilot uses instruments as a second opinion to confirm what your eyes already told you. And next time on Wrench and Reason, we'll unpack electronic stability control. We'll understand how it quietly prevents spins and why tire pressure can make or break it. So stay curious, stay safe, and keep watching Wrench and Reason.